Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm Chris from iLather.com. Down here you see Leroy, who wants to eat the Simpson Classic 1 synthetic, and I may let him eat it later. We'll get to that in a moment. But I tried to use this brush today, and there's hopefully a better look at it for you. Simpson Classic 1 synthetic. First of all, I'll tell you this brush is very, very small. It's about the size of my index finger, and I don't have particularly big hands, but I knew that. I had bought one of these previously, and I ended up getting rid of it, but this was sent to me, was given to me by a fellow the other day, so I figured I would try it and give it another shot. Now let me explain my history with Simpson synthetics before I get too far into talking about the Classic 1, which I also call Baby Buster. A couple of years ago, Simpson came out with the Chubby 2 synthetic, which had the most amazing looking handles that I'd ever seen on a synthetic brush at the time. They were absolutely gorgeous, and I bought one, and I think I ended up having like 5 of them. And I convinced myself that I really liked them because I loved the handles and the colors. Simpson's, let me say this, Simpson makes some of the best badger brushes that can be had anywhere in the world, period. They are a legendary brand. But boy, when those synthetics came out, I jumped on it, and ultimately they were not very good. When I used them back to back, just using a Simpson one day to the next, it felt okay. But then the minute that you brought out a Mula silver tip fiber brush or something else, you could tell immediately that the Simpson fiber and the way the loft set just wasn't very good, at least for me. Of course, this is my opinion. You have to press way too hard to get it to display, and that's really the problem. And it's also the problem that this particular brush has. You have to press too hard to get it to display. Simpson calls this fiber, let me read it because I wrote it down, exclusive and unrivaled in its class. If it's unrivaled in its class, it's unrivaled by being poor. It is not very good. I tried to use this morning. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. It really isn't up to the Simpson standard, in my opinion. Simpson makes great badger brushes, and if they just put a decent synthetic knot in these handles, they could sell like crazy. If they sourced a modern synthetic fiber that was actually good, it would be a huge hit in my estimation. I would love to see it because I would love to own a Simpson's synthetic that was good. Unfortunately, there are none. There are none. This fiber is too stiff. You have to press down too hard to get it to display. And then when it does display, all the lather goes up by the handle. So then you no longer have lather in the actual brush, which is terrible. It's terrible execution. The fiber is not good. They are set too low, potentially. Just overall, it is the worst synthetic brush, in my opinion, on the market by far. Worse than the cheap Omega synthetic fiber, worse than any Frank shaving or cheap Chinese-made brush. It is just not up to the Simpson standard, in my opinion. It is, in terms of synthetics, and what I like in a synthetic brush is a brush that you can create a great lather with, and that the lather will stay in the brush, and you get a nice experience from it. It's okay for it to have a little backbone, and this is what the defenders of this brush will say. It has a lot of backbone. If you have to press so hard that all the lather goes on the handle, that's not backbone that's useful in any way. It's garbage. This brush has a great looking handle, but it's just not great for shaving, in my opinion. Some people say you can use it for a travel brush. Why would I want to bother with it? You can get a smaller synthetic that will perform much better for less money. Heck, go buy a Razor Rock Plus Off for 12, 15 bucks. Buy 2 for the price of this, which is like $55 American. The only useful thing you get out of it is that travel case, which is pretty nice. But this brush, to me, is just not up to the Simpson standard. And Simpson, if you see this, I hope you'll consider sourcing a knot that is modern and, will fit the synthetic users out there that are looking for something different. This one just does not cut it, and you know what we have to do. Out comes the Bust-A-Gong, and there's some history with the gong. On a video early on when I was making videos, I said, I asked the viewers, I said, hey, do you remember the old gong show where the hook used to come out and they rang the gong and pulled somebody off the stage? Well, Busta sent me this gong, and I ring it when something is very poor, and this brush is poor. So we ring the busta gong. Simpson, this classic one brush is just simply not up to your standard. I recognize that you are an industry leader in Badger brushes. You make some of the most beautiful handles out there. I love what you do, Simpson, except for synthetic. This is awful. It's not up to your standard, and I hope at some point in the future you'll consider putting out something that we will enjoy, because this just is not it. Now, I know some people will like it, but I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of folks who like synthetic brushes. If I had them try this, most would not like it, in my opinion. Now I'm going to let Leroy eat the brush. No, I'm going to send this to Busta, and maybe he can use it as a keychain or something like that. Thanks as always, folks, for watching, and remember, until next time, let's make the whole world shave great once again.